Hey everybody, I'm recording video number 42. I got on deep focus, otherwise the focus tends to bounce. So, what are we going to talk about here? We're going to talk about code boot camps. People have asked, are code boot camps worth it? These are boot camps where you spend about 8 weeks, depending on the boot camp, sometimes 3 months, and you pay $10,000, $15,000 depending, and they say that by the end of a boot camp you will have the necessary skills to get a high-paying job coding. I question that. I think you can get a job after a few months of practice as an entry-level coder if you put the work in, but not something like where you're going to be making 80, 100 grand a year. You got to give yourself some time and develop some chops and experience to do that. So, is it worth it? Back to the original question. It depends on a few things. It depends on how dedicated you are. If you're going to put a heck of a lot of work into it, you're going to be motivated, you're going to get into it, might be worth it. But if you are motivated and you're able to do a lot of work and you're able to do these type of things, then you might be better off just doing it on your own. There's lots of courses out there that you can pick up for 30, 100 bucks, 50 bucks. Lots of YouTube stuff where you can pick up a little bits here and there. Now, some of you may be asking, yeah, but I'm not going to have all the answers on YouTube. This is true. But if you have a well-structured course, and I'll just say, I'm speaking my book here, I sell courses, been doing this since 2003. So, the boot camps are really for people who don't have the ability to be disciplined enough to actually learn the stuff on your own. But if you're not into it enough to do it on your own, then maybe the boot camp won't be good enough for you. It won't be good for you because if you're not motivated to learn this stuff, especially in the beginning, you're not going to be motivated to be a coder because coding is an intense job. So it could be a lot of fun if you're into it, but it is an intense job. And so if you're not motivated on your own, you feel you need to be whipped and given that kind of one-on-one attention, then might not be for you, and I'll save you 15,000 bucks. So what I would suggest strongly is that first, before you try a boot camp, you try learning on your own through a good course. Why not try $50 or $35 or $99 on a course and see how it goes, right? Put the work in, These boot camps, at the end of the day, nobody cares, in terms of employers, whether or not you come from a boot camp. They don't. What they do care about is whether or not you have the skills, and you demonstrate your skills through projects that you build. So that's the key thing. Some of the boot camps may have set up little deals with some companies where they'll take you in and try you out. But let me tell you, if they're going to try somebody out from a boot camp who's been doing it for 3 months, they'll try you out if you've been learning on your own and working on the code on your own, and you can come in and say, look at all the projects I built. I did, and then they may ask you questions. They may give you a trial. And you can do this without spending $15,000 on a boot camp. That's my experience. I hired people. I've been coding since 1994. I've been teaching since 2003. So I've been teaching for longer than a lot of these boot camp teachers have been coding. So keep that in mind. I understand the business of coding very well from the fact that I've been involved in it for 20 years. So, take it with a grain of salt perhaps, but that's just my take on it. So I personally would, before getting into a boot camp, I would actually get into an online course or buy a couple books. It's a lot cheaper, and see if you can discipline yourself every day to do a bit, an hour or two a day. Because at the end of the day, 8 hours a day, 2 hours a day, you learn a little more quickly with 8 hours, I guess, but the brain can only learn so many new things per day. It takes time for it to sort of sink in. So I think if you do 2, 3 hours a day on your own, you're going to learn a lot quickly, trust me.